Welcome back to the Essentially You podcast, all about reinventing your health with safer, cheaper, more effective natural solutions and powerful lifestyle changes so that you become the CEO of your health. I am your host, Dr. Marisa Snyder. Today is the day. Can somebody pinch me? Because I can't believe it's finally here. It's book launch party time. My 8th book, The Essential Oils Menopause Solution, officially released today by Rodale, a division of Penguin Random House, and it is available everywhere books are sold. Now, I've been dreaming of this day for almost 24 months, and here we are. And it feels even sweeter to be celebrating with my 4-month-old baby, Kingston. Now, he hit his 4-month milestone today as I write up this episode for you, and wow, what a charmer he is. Now, if you want to catch a glimpse of our little charmer, definitely follow me on Instagram at Dr. Marisa. Now, the journey of this book has been nothing short of a miracle. And to have it coincide with the miracle of our rainbow baby, Kingston, makes it so much more special. Honestly, Kingston has brought so much more depth to my mission to serve you. And I know that this book will act as a powerful tool and resource to help you and many other women navigate through perimenopause, menopause, and beyond. Now, my deepest desire is to get this book into the hands of thousands of women who are tired of hearing that what they are experiencing in their bodies is just a symptom of getting older. Hey, one more thing. During a time when women are told that feeling exhausted all day long and weight gain is just a part of life after 40, I am here to debunk those myths so that we can stop believing them today. We've been told to expect hot flashes, weight gain, brain fog, low libido, and irritability. But what if perimenopause and menopause didn't have to be a struggle? In my newest book, The Essential Oils Menopause Solution, I lay out a proven 21-day hormone balancing program complete with meal plans, recipes, supplementation, herbal therapies, and self-care rituals designed to boost energy, metabolism, libido, mental clarity, and reverse a myriad of symptoms affecting millions of women today. You always deserve a body that works for you. And if you're feeling less than your best, you deserve solutions that promote actual healing. In as little as 21 days, the Essential Oils Menopause Solution book will help you skyrocket your energy, balance your hormones, and achieve long-lasting health. It's available for pre-order right now, so go grab your copy, plus my bonus menopause toolkit of $500 value at eomenopaussolution.com. The biggest inspiration for this book is really my mama, who is 60 years young and reinventing menopause and beyond on her terms every single day. And because she has been such a North Star to not only me, but many other women, I asked her to join me on the Essentially You podcast to not only share her story, but also the mindset that she has embodied to carve out a very different path than what has been perpetuated in our culture. So be sure to join us next week on April 27th for our interview. I cannot tell you how honored I am to be able to bring her onto the show. Now, before her episode airs next Tuesday, I want to quickly share her story today because I want to give you context to what she has gone through and where she's at, which I go into in great depth inside of the book because it was her experience at the end of perimenopause. Now, I call it phase 2 of perimenopause. And if you want to dive into the phases of perimenopause, I have a whole episode devoted to it on episode 243. Now, because of her experience at the end of perimenopause, that is what inspired me to write this book. Now, before I dive into that story that took place 11 years ago, I want to just give a little bit more context because there was something else that inspired me to write this book as well. I want to speak to the thousands of comments and questions I've received about perimenopause and menopause since my last book tour back in the winter and spring of 2019, before this whole pandemic thing happened. Now, in the beginning of 2019, when the Essential Oil Hormone Solution book came out, I did a 15-city book tour for that book. And let me tell you, it was the most incredible experience because I met thousands of women who I really just got to meet so many of my community and get to really hear what was going on with them. And as I was signing copies of my new book in Sacramento, California at the beginning of March for a room of around 200 incredible women, The number one question that kept coming up to me over and over again that day, and this was from women in their mid to late 40s and even their 50s. And this, by the way, was a question that continued to come up at every tour location thereafter. And here was the question: is there anything in this book for me? And I immediately understood what they were asking. These incredible women wanted to know if my book, The Essential Oils Hormone Solution, addressed their personal issues as they navigated perimenopause and menopause without a lot of available resources that they could turn to. Did my book directly speak to them and their wants and needs? Now, in some ways, yes, the Essential Oils Hormone Solution addressed some of their biggest symptoms, but it did not address the whole picture for women in this important but often overlooked transition. The EO Hormone Solution was a more general book designed to appeal to women across the board, and I believe that it has done a marvelous job at that. And now it is in 4 different languages, so it's so exciting to see it around the world as well. But I heard these women, I heard you. After so many women came up to me on that tour, I felt the need to go deeper and address the 150 plus million women who were embarking in this big transitional journey in their 40s, 50s, and even 60s. Because this 10 to 20 year transitional experience can feel at times very challenging, given the lack of resources and attention given to women. Because like us understanding our periods and our menstrual cycle, which so many of us are still trying to understand. And thank goodness I have so many episodes dedicated to that topic. And there's so many books now dedicated to understanding our menstrual cycle. It is equally important to know what is going on with our hormone changes at every chapter in our lives, especially during perimenopause and menopause, because these are the years where we are stepping up to do the biggest things, and we are stepping up to serve people in a bigger way, including our family members. I know that we deserve that much and more. So my intention with this book is to help women navigate perimenopause and menopause through understanding what is going on with their bodies and their hormones. And they lay out solutions based on the most current research and also provide a 21-day hormone makeover blueprint plan that addresses some of the biggest symptoms that women face as they hit their 40s and their 50s and beyond. Issues like sleep issues, insomnia, exhaustion, burnout, weight resistance, vaginal dryness, hot flashes, night sweats, incontinence, pelvic floor pain, thyroid issues, brain fog, mood issues. I mean, the list goes on, depending on what your unique circumstances are. My goal is that I want to be here for women like I was there for my mama over a decade ago. So in the middle of my book tour, right smack in the middle, I remember it was cold, it was snowing, and I was in Portland, Oregon. It was 9 p.m. one late Tuesday night in the middle of my tour. I wrote out the proposal for this book that is officially out today, again, wherever books are sold. Now that you have some context to why I decided to write this book over the last 2 years, let me quickly share my mom's story that inspired this book in the first place, because her experience at the end of perimenopause rocked me to my core. I will never forget the night my mom finally reached out for help. The phone rang at midnight, waking me up, honestly startling me, because rarely did my phone ring at midnight. And I remember picking it up because it was her, and I could hear the fear in her voice, a tone that I have rarely ever heard from her my entire life. My mom is such a powerhouse. She's such a rock. That's why she's always been my inspiration, because nothing could stop her. She was the ultimate superwoman. So when I heard this tone, I was afraid that something was very, very wrong. Now let me back up, because 3 months prior to that call, that sent the alarm bells off in my heart and my head, my mom had been experiencing some pretty crazy perimenopausal symptoms: sleep issues and night sweats, heavy periods that seemed to never end, weight resistance, and hot flashes that drenched her in sweat several times a day, especially when she was in the OR. It was the hot flashes that finally broke the camel's back, and she reached out to a women's hormone practice in search of solutions without my knowledge. She didn't want to bother me. She remember she telling me this. She's like, I didn't want to bother you. I knew you were super busy with your other patients. I just didn't want to be a burden. And I wish she would have reached out to me first. So the one thing she knew, because she'd been hearing me for years, she knew that she needed to request blood work for her reproductive hormones, the stress hormones, her thyroid hormones, basically the whole gamut of hormones. But when she went to this doctor, her doctor had told her that these tests weren't reliable and they didn't use them. They weren't going to run her labs. So instead of digging deeper into the root causes of what was going on with my mama, the doctor simply pulled out a prescription pad and offered her an easy fix, which was a synthetic estrogen patch. My mom, who was desperate for hot flash relief, was willing to try anything, and she took the prescription. Now, the estrogen patch seemed to work for about a week or so, relieving her of some hot flashes during her workday, but the rest of her symptoms persisted, and new ones began to appear that she had never, ever experienced before. In 2 months' time, she suffered from more weight gain, chronic headaches, and intense insomnia coupled with bone-crushing fatigue. This easy fix dropped her into a circle of hellish symptoms. And then it got worse because depression began to impact her motivation and drive. She started withdrawing from life with zero motivation to work or hang out with friends, eventually to even function. My mom was scared that these new symptoms were impacting her entire life and ability to function, but she didn't know where to turn. And that is when she called me, embarrassed and desperate and incredibly freaked out. The fear in her voice that night literally scared me, and I know it scared her. The last thing that she said was in a whisper. She said, I am starting to have scary thoughts. Now, despite my immediate fear and concern for my mama, I assured her that she would be absolutely okay. We were going to figure this out. We were going to get to the root cause of what was going on. And over the next weeks, I worked with her and her doctor to slowly wean her off the estrogen patch. And then we ran a full panel of hormone tests to check her thyroid hormones, her stress hormones, reproductive hormones, plus DHEA, insulin, and all of the other important inflammatory markers. Now, I talk about all of these tests inside of my book, and I give you a list of tests to ask your doctor to run so that you can kind of figure out what's really going on with your body. So just know that it's inside of the book as well. Now, I also immediately started her on my hormone makeover protocol. It's the basis of the 21-day hormone program that you will find in part 3 of the book. I also recommended essential oils and supplementation to support her hot flashes, insomnia, fatigue, and depressed feelings. My mom had been in a pretty serious depression, and although I think bioidentical hormones and hormones can be of service, I also feel like you've got to really dig into what is going on with you before you just start taking a patch or a cream. For my mom, taking that synthetic estrogen patch definitely did not do her any favors. Since then, until this day, she has not been on hormone replacement since. So within 30 days of doing the 21-day hormone makeover protocol. Now, at the time, it wasn't called that because it was a protocol that I had developed for my patients and I had used on myself when I was dealing with chronic fatigue. And then I tweaked it for my mom when she was going through the end stages of perimenopause. But then over the years, I have perfected this 21-day hormone makeover program and I've had 3,000 women test it and have phenomenal results. And so to be able to put this comprehensive hormone makeover plan into the book, I cannot tell you how excited I am because it's tested and it works, and I know you're going to have such great success with it. So within 30 days, my mom's depression lifted. She lost 13 pounds and she was waking up early with energy to work and play tennis, which was super important to her because at the time she was just getting into tennis and she loved tennis. She just loved all of her fun activities. She just didn't have the energy or the motivation due to this crazy depression she was experiencing to do any of it anymore. So after that first 30 days, we saw a massive turnaround. Now, emotionally, she really began to feel like herself again. By day 60, she called to tell me that she felt like a younger version of herself. She had then lost 25 plus pounds. She was waking up feeling refreshed, ready to tackle her long day with energy to spare. Her sugar cravings were a thing of the past, and she felt this incredible intrinsic motivation to start running. So I want to just fast forward to 11 years from now, because I do go more depth into her story inside of the book. Today's episode, I'm going to shorten it up. I know we're going to get into it next week as well. But fast forward 11 years, literally today, she has ran 9 marathons, would have easily been 11 or 12 by now had the pandemic not stopped marathons and everything else, unfortunately. She's ran over 60 half marathons and got the medals to prove it, and is a competitive tennis player. And did I mention that she looks like she's in her 40s? Even till this day, younger men, like a lot younger men, maybe men my age or younger, even hit on her all of the time. And if you were to see my mom and I walking down the street, you would immediately think that we were sisters. She's been hearing that her entire adult life, definitely my entire adult life, and she still hears it every single day when we're out and about. And I know that that always puts the biggest grin on her face. She is just timeless. Her wisdom is incredible, but her energy, oh my gosh, I would say she's got more energy than I have right now, being a postpartum mama. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I am having her on the show next week, and we're going to really share about what it is that she's doing to feel so youthful and to feel so energized. Now, mind you, she does do a lot of the things that I tell her to do. She fills in her nutrient gap. She eats super clean. She clearly moves her body, right? But it's so much that mindset that she's embraced that I'm so excited for her to share with you. Now, the transformation that my mom had in such a short amount of time is the experience that I want for all women. Gosh, including myself. As a woman in perimenopause and postpartum, I was concerned about the symptoms that I might experience in these first, 3 to 5 months. But as I enter month 4 of my postpartum journey at the age of 41, I can honestly say that a lack of sleep here and there is all that I've really experienced. And I attribute all of it, everything, to what you're going to find in the book. Now, I hope that by sharing my mom's story today, I open the door for what's possible for all of us, whether you're in perimenopause or menopause or you're not even there yet. Because the one thing I know for sure, perimenopause and menopause are inevitable. We all go through it. We all go through these big transitions. And that's why this book is so needed, especially today. Because right now, there is a trend that's happening with women over 40 that needs to be stopped. And I want to talk about it with you today. I have a feeling that you have been lied to about your hormones and your symptoms in perimenopause and menopause. I have a feeling that you've been told that your hormone issues are a normal part of aging, or that there's nothing that you can do about it outside of pills like hormonal birth control, synthetic hormones like Premarin, aka horse urine, and progestins, and or invasive surgeries like endometrial ablations and DNCs. Now, I'm not saying that some of these things aren't necessary or there's a time and place for them, but when it is the standard of care that we're given every single time, even if our symptoms are being driven by something else, we deserve another way. We deserve to know what's actually going on. So if you are over the age of 38 or even 40, and maybe you've been told that menopause hits you like a Mack truck, or that menopause means you're officially old, or that birth control pills are the solution to your perimenopausal and menopausal symptoms, I want you to know that none of these myths are true. And if you want to hear me debunk every one of those menopause myths and more, because there's way more than that, check out episode 233 and 235, where I debunk all of the menopause myths. And I also have those myths debunked inside of the book and inside of a bonus chapter you get, because I really want to speak into what is possible. I'm over the rhetoric that this is the time of decline for any of us, because it just isn't. Now, the good news is that we have a lot more control over our hormones and how our hormones transition during perimenopause and menopause. Although there are some changes that take place and our reproductive cycle does end, menopause opens the door for a greater new beginning, filled with more energy, wisdom, confidence, and joy. Now, are you ready to embrace that possibility? Yes? Well, me too. Since I know you are saying yes, I want you to know that menopause isn't supposed to be a silent struggle. It isn't supposed to be a struggle at all. Menopause presents our bodies with an opportunity to regain energy. Because let's be honest, having a monthly cycle every month requires a lot of energy and resources. We know this to be true. Any woman who can speak to that, especially during our period or during pregnancy or especially even during postpartum, all of this requires some level of energy expenditure. Energy only women can facilitate, let's be honest. And so when we're able to shelve all of that, all of those energy producing transitions in our life, experiences that we go through, and goodness knows I've been going through a lot of them all at the same time. It's amazing what can happen when we free up that energy. And that is what's going on in menopause. We're freeing up that energy and we can reallocate it to other passions and other missions and other things that bring us joy and excitement in our life. Now, while doctors who don't really understand what's going on with your body try to slap Band-Aids on our symptoms, I want you to know that there is a better way to reclaim your energy, your focus, your metabolism, your overall body. And it's called addressing the root causes. It's what I talk about all the time on this podcast because it is the real deal. That's what real medicine is. It's getting to the root cause of what's really going on. And guess what? It's not always about the reproductive hormones. There could be other things going on that we've got to address. And that's exactly what I offer in the Essential Oils Menopause Solution. Now, I want you to know that there is no book out there like that. I know this because I read all of them. I read every menopause book. And rarely did I see us having the conversation around root cause medicine. Rarely did I see the conversation around mindset and what we can do on a natural basis, what we can do from our homes to get the results that we're looking for. Now, the results that I'm going to offer you in this book come from years of research. Years, besides the 2 years it took me to write this book, I've been doing research on perimenopause and menopause for many years prior to that. This book is groundbreaking in that it uncovers the truth about menopause that you won't find anywhere else. I'm going to talk about what's really going on inside of your body during your 40s and beyond. I'm going to talk about the 6 hidden root causes that can throw off your hormones and your health and put you into a crazy hot mess, which so many of us are feeling right now. I'm going to be sharing cutting-edge, natural, research-backed solutions to address these root causes for good and with all of the side benefits. Because let's talk about the side benefits, right? We address the root causes. We support heart health. We support brain health. We support overall cellular vitality. And that's what I want most. I want our 50s, our 60s, our 70s, our 80s. I want those to be such incredible years that we live, that we make such a mark on this world. We leave our legacy with this world. These are our best years. And it's all about longevity. And that is what I want for you. And then lastly, as I talked about earlier, a comprehensive 21-day makeover plan, which I've got meal plans, I've got supplement protocols, essential oil recipes, movement, self-care, even a vision for setting the tone for how you want to create this, and so much more. It's all built into this comprehensive 21-day plan that I have tested on so many women. The results are there. This book is going to be a powerful resource that needs to be shared in a really big way. And it's through our word of mouth that this book gets into the world in such a big way. Currently, over 7,000 copies of this book have been sold already. 70,000 copies have been sold of the Essential Oils Hormone Solution. Hopefully, we'll get to that number with this book as well. I do have a goal of 100,000 books sold this year. So as a small token of my appreciation, if you go and grab this book, especially grab this book for someone that you love, I have created $500 worth in bonus goodies as a big thank you for ordering a copy of the Essential Oils Menopause Solution. Now, when you order this book, you get instant access to my 90-minute menopause masterclass. You get lab testing guides, menopause quiz, protocol action plans at your fingertips. You can really dial in exactly what's going on for your needs. A hormone cheat sheet bundle with some of the biggest concerns around perimenopause and menopause with all of my best solutions. 3 bonus chapters that you can't get anywhere else. Now, I got to tell you, when I wrote this book, it was 160,000 words. That is like I want to say it's like an 800-page book. And let me tell you, I wasn't going to be allowed to print an 800-page book. So we ended up having to cut it down to 95,000 words. So because of that, 3 bonus chapters were removed, and I'm going to be including them here so that you don't miss out on the content that I ended up having to remove for the final of this book. You're also going to get a $15 coupon to my Essentially Whole supplement store and a VIP pass to my private Essential Oils Hormone Revolution Facebook group. These are sexy bonuses that I cannot wait to get into your hands. So I want to talk a little bit about how you get these amazing bonuses. I'm going to just share it with you once. That way you have access of it. First, you got to go and order the book, The Essential Oils Menopause Solution, at your favorite online retailer or even local business store retailer if that's possible. Amazon is the place everyone loves to get the book so far, but I really want to inspire you to go to a local retailer if you can. Then you're going to go to the eomenopausesolution.com website. That's my book bonus page. Or you can go to drmarisa.com and click the link on the top of that page as well. And this is where you're going to enter your name and email. And then I am going to email those bonuses to you immediately in your inbox. Now, if you've already purchased the book as you're listening to this episode, or you got your copy of the EO Menopause Solution already in your hand, you can go to the link immediately, enter your information, and get access to the instant bonuses. Now, if there's anyone in your life that you're thinking of right now who is struggling with hot flashes, sleep issues, weight resistance, and any other symptoms during perimenopause and menopause, I just want to say, please pay it forward and share this episode with them, or even take it a step further and gift the book to them yourself. One of my favorite things to do is to gift a book that has made an impact on me to my friends, family, and colleagues. I want to say that probably every week at some point in time, I'm on Amazon and I'm shipping a book to somebody because it had such an impact on me, and I know that it will have an impact on them. For me, books are the most cost-effective gateway to reaching our goals, whether it's our health goals, our business goals, our personal development goals, whatever they may be. I know that so many doctors and educators and experts go to great length, spend decades, years researching, cultivating what they know to be true. It's like it's literally their wheelhouse, their expertise, and they pour it into a book. And that's what I always do with mine as well. My goal, and the reason why I keep writing books, being this is book number 8, is that I know this is the most cost-effective way to get everything inside of my head into your hands. And that's what I love. That's what I love so much about books. So I just wanted to share that with you. If there's someone in your life that you think this could benefit from, share it with them. Let them know about it. Take a picture of it, of you in the book on Instagram or Facebook, wherever you love to do that. Let them know about it, or even gift them a book copy as well. I just want to say thank you so much for stopping in and listening into the Essentially You podcast today and celebrating with me during my day-long book launch party. I cannot tell you how much it means to me. And as I mentioned earlier, in my next episode, it's all about reinventing menopause and beyond with my amazing mama, Jody DeLeon. I cannot wait for you to hear her journey and how she is doing what she loves and kicking some major booty in the process. Until then, again, have an amazing, amazing week. Go get your coffee, and I can't wait to see you on the next episode.